What is up, my friends? Good morning. Well, stormy weekend done turned pretty. I threw the old tank back on it. Well, let me show you up close. Wired it. Didn't really get a whole lot of video. All you saw was what I had. I put the shocks on it. Okay, I drove it. Here's what it sounded like. Yeah, so, I had two neighbors point at me and give me that grin, So, yeah, I'm going to be starting this up at probably 5:30 in the morning. So I had to put the mufflers back on it. I experimented. I had to mark where these go. What I'm going to do when I wrap them is just wire tie on there. So you'll see all that when that's done. The tank I am sending to Texas Viking because he's a badass motherfucker, and I can't weld it with my I can't weld this tank with my Harbor Freight welder. So yeah, I'm not that good at welding. I'm good enough to not kill myself with that, but anyway. So let's see what else. We've got the forward controls done. I've got all this wired, as you saw. I've got to figure out something to do there, right there. I think I've got my head wrapped around it. Then I have this old flask for like 10 years or so. So I figured, that would be a far better overflow tank, since I'm going to put my new battery where the overflow tank was. And this is the old battery. As you see, I've got it zip tied in there so I can use it. So when I drove it, I had these up about 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches. So I bottomed them out when I drove it. So the travel bottomed. So what I'm going to do is I just did that. That was a mistake I made. I've seen people do this before, and if you're going to ride it where there's bumps, that's not going to work. So don't give that a whole lot of travel. They kind of thought about that when they engineered the bike anyway, when you think about it. That seat is too high, so I've got to do something about the seat. And I've got to wire my charging station on there. Still don't have a speedometer. I don't know what to do about that, but what I can do is change the position of my seat and fix her up a little bit up here. So, yeah, let's get at it. Bad thing about doing this in my shop is that I've got, well, out in my garage, is that I have my shop right here. And I just keep going back and forth when I forget something.
Little dog.